Welcome to the Ultimate Tolkien Tournament. This is Middle-earth Madness. Yes, welcome everybody to the Chamber of Death for the final night of the play-in round. I'm joined here by the Engine Chief. How we doing out there?
Good evening, everyone. Most people have got power back in Houston, so let us fight.
Yes, indeed, man. That's good news. That's good news. I know it's been. They had to coin a whole new name of the storm type since it wasn't a tornado and it wasn't a tropical storm. And I already forget the name of it, but it's like a despecho storm or something. Because twisters aren't supposed to land in the middle of downtown areas, but this kind of thing can. So, yeah. You know something weird's going on when there's a whole new storm type.
Yeah, it's not that unfamiliar if you grew up in Kansas or Missouri.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, good old-fashioned tornadoes up through there. But yeah, we are back for the final night. It's already just about the end of the play-in round of the Third Age Throwdown. Hard to believe. So, little quick recap as we usually do here. If it's your first time watching, we give you a quick recap. So spoiler alerts, if you want to go on YouTube and watch the fights that you haven't seen yet, good time to hit pause or drop off the stream real fast. Go watch YouTube on MiddleEarthMadness.com. Well, link to YouTube, I should say, from MiddleEarthMadness.com. Or if you've already subscribed to our YouTube page, even better. So yeah, all of our fights are there. But proceeding on the assumption that everyone wants a quick recap, we'll give you one. Last night in the Isengard region, we started with Hobbit on Hobbit violence. And Bilbo was the victor, vanquishing Merry. So it was Bilbo that will advance in our tournament into the second round. And in the second round, he will face the champion who's been on bye waiting for him, and that's Saruman. So Bilbo versus Saruman. Good luck to Bilbo in that one. It's going to be not so fun. Next fight, Landroval took on Elrohir. And it was Landroval in technically an upset, although, in the first round, these are all pretty close, so not much of an upset in any case, but seeding-wise, this was an upset. He takes out the half-elven son of Elrond to advance, where he will fight Boromir. If you join us in March for the Ultimate Tolkien Tournament, you know that Boromir, I think he made an Elite 8 run, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't quite make the Final Four, but guy can do some damage, so that'll be a fun fight there. Thirdly, we had Bolg against Thorin. Straight from the lore, these two actually fought. And in the books, of course, it was Bolg that was victorious. But in this tournament, Thorin redeemed himself. And it is Thorin that will advance to take on Treebeard. Hasty hearts. Good fight there. And finally, the theme of last night kind of being orcs against dwarves. For those Battle of Azanul Bizarre fans out there in the actual war of orcs and dwarves. These two didn't actually fight in that battle in the books, but Gorbag in our battle engine took on Glóin. And it was Gorbag in another upset who will advance. Or was that one an upset? No, I'm sorry. That was actually a seated.
Gorbag was a 9 against Gollum at 10.
Exactly. So he was favored. In any case, it was Gorbag that's going to advance, and he will take on evil on evil, Smaug in the next round. Which brings us down to the Gondor region. Quick preview of our fights tonight here. We will start with Eowyn against Gollum, followed by match of the night, featured fight, the Olog-Hai against Radagast. 2 new characters here. Gollum was a new character too, by the way. And then we will have 2 old characters, Dain Ironfoot against Eomer of Rohan. The nightcap, 2 more old characters. Grishnakh against Theoden. So, before fight 1, let's check in, lastly here, on our fantasy scores. So, for those that haven't joined previously, we are running a Tolkien character fantasy league here. All of us drafted the characters in this field, this tournament field that you've seen on this stream and previous streams. So all of our founders and panelists have fantasy teams. Besides myself, I'm Switzerland. So Madness Maestro is merely officiating, but all of our other panelists are scoring points, keeping score. They've got skin in the game with these actual fights that you're seeing. And it's very simple scoring. Hey, if your character is that's on your roster, if you drafted the character that is winning fights, for every win that character gets throughout the tournament, as you can see in this little scoreboard up here, or scoring breakdown, wins score you points. Upsets get you a little bonus. And the farther you go in the tournament, the more valuable your wins are. So with that said, it is Hanti who is currently leading with 52 points here. Although he does have 3 of his characters already slain. His other characters have done well. And that's, I believe, followed by Dattel. So Engine Chief has 4 characters slain, but all 3 of his characters that have won have been upset wins, which brings him to 33 in second place. Followed then by Chucky, who hasn't had anyone slain, but has only had 2 guys fight, and he'll change that tonight with Gollum, Theoden. Actually, Glowing is slain here. Sorry, I forgot to... While we're talking about it, I'll go ahead and adjust that. Glowing has been slain, Chucky. So we can remedy that real fast. But yeah, he is in third, and he's got a lot of guys going tonight. Hopefully he joins. He has Durin's Bane in the next round. The Witch King also in the next round. But Radagast going tonight, as well as Gollum. Then I didn't give him his points for Bilbo. We got a bad scoreboard operator over here. All right, so Chucky, it's actually really close. He's right behind you, Engine Chief. Point behind. So, interesting. And then Campy and Josh just really haven't had anyone fight yet. They drafted all studs that got buys. So, yeah, that's where we're at in terms of our fantasy league. It's a lot of fun. We are hoping to roll this product out for the masses as soon as we possibly can. We have to build it first, and that costs money and development hours. So, but we're on it. Make sure you subscribe and follow and do all the stuff in red. That allows us to keep you updated on when the cool products that we just mentioned are coming out. And that's not the only one, by the way. We're doing a bunch of upcoming events and other games as well. So stay tuned. But without further ado, shall we get to some fights? Yes. First fight of the evening. Eowyn against Gollum. Initial thoughts on this one before we bring up the stats? Engine Chief.
Wow. Wow. Gosh. Should be even. That's why they're so evenly matched. I mean, they're evenly
Yep.
seated.
Yep, no doubt. So we haven't seen Gollum fight before. Let's have a look at his stats here, and that'll help inform our predictions. So, Battle Engine says what now? Eowyn's going to prefer melee combat with the Sword of Medusel. Gollum also prefers melee with his sharpened teeth. Battlefield conditions favoring Gollum slightly in this one, but not really, because characters will use their preferred weapons still 88% of the time. So 12% of the time they'll be forced to use their ranged weapons. When we look at skills here, what sticks out to you, Engine Chief? Anything off the top? Blue line is Gollum, green line is Eowyn here for our newbies.
Wow, they're just so different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what sticks out.
Yeah.
Really good stamina. Go ahead.
I'm seeing Gollum. For melee combat, you want to have agility, which he's better at,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to have ferocity, at the same at. You want to have striking, which he's a little less than. I don't know. Then
Yeah.
armor's an advantage to Eowyn.
Yes. Yep, it is. Yeah, Gollum has 0 armor, basically. What? Does he have any armor? 18. That's just about the worst in the game.
But he has some elusiveness. Instead of armor, he's going to try to duck.
Yeah, he's going to dodge. He's quite shifty. He's agile. He's elusive. He's dexterous. All those things. So hitting the guy, gosh, and stamina. Yeah, obviously he can freaking go forever with nothing but rotten fish or insects to eat.
What does Gollum use? What does Gollum use when he's at range?
I think he hunks rocks like most hobbits.
Well, he's got a pretty amazing accuracy.
Yeah,
but terrible piercing. Yeah,
terrible
piercing. Terrible piercing. Yeah, so he'll hit her, but be unlikely to do grievous damage.
Yeah, and she stands out. Of course, Valor. She's afraid of nothing. She took on the Witch King after all. Decent stamina, but not really compared to him. And really pretty weak in all of the rest. Okay striking. Okay agility. I mean, look, this is an 11 versus 12 here, so it'd be shocking if any of these characters, 11s or 12s, made a run, but that's why we play the games.
Yeah, so it's a classic case of lots of small hits versus a few big hits.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And hitting Gollum at all is going to be a challenge, and so.
Yeah, but if you hit him, you can damage him because he's not armored. So.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So it's Eowyn's home runs against Gollum's singles.
Exactly, for the baseball fans
we usually
in the house.
Use basketball. We usually use basketball analogies, but there was a baseball one.
Yeah, it's baseball season, so appropriate. I think we are joined by Chucky. Chucky,
hey.
can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm not at my computer.
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you. It's a little
I hear you pretty well. I hear you.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little more distant.
As long as
but
there's not too much of a lag or anything, should be good.
no worries. We are about to launch Fight 1, Eowyn against Gollum.
All right, fun. I believe I have Gollum.
Yes. You have a lot of characters tonight, so behold the results.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
First fight of the night. Shall we fight? Let us fight. With the first fight of the evening, we have Eowyn against Gollum.
Fight music.
Let us fight.
There we go.
Eowyn attacks first. Oh. Eowyn attacked first, and then Gollum instantly went after her and scored a heavily hewn with the teeth. That was bizarre. That was a quick 1-2. Now, can Eowyn come back? No. Gollum's attack. Another hit! Another wound! Slay!
Wow.
Complete domination.
Gollum
by
hit 2
Steven.
home runs when he's a singles hitter.
Oh my gosh. And Gollum just annihilates the babe.
He must have had some yummy salmon or something.
Yeah, that gum. Shortest battle of the tournament we've seen so far, ladies and gentlemen. A beatdown. What happened there? Okay, so 2 heavily hewns. The most perfect game we've seen.
They both use their preferred weapons.
Yeah. 2 just immaculate rolls of the dice right there. That's what it was.
Critical hit.
Yeah. Yeah, especially that second
Yeah.
one. That gum. Yeah, no, again, not that Eowyn had spectacular defense, but she had a little bit of armor, with the shield and everything. Did not matter.
And it counts as an upset because Gollum was a 12 seed.
Yes. So, Chucky, we're going to give you your points. Check this out. Where's Chucky? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Gollum. Here we go. So that's 11, and you move into second place, don't you? Yes. So you trail only Hanti with that win right there. Who had Gollum? Oh, so... No, I'm sorry. Who had Eowyn? Dada, did you? No? Hanti.
Yay.
Slaying.
So that's
Man,
even better
Hanti's...
for me.
Yeah, Hanti's losing some dudes and girls, as it turns out. Let's see. Eowyn slain. So Hanti's down to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mans left. Very interesting.
He's got quite a few. That's still quite a few.
True. Yep. Oh, I didn't give Gorbag his points last night. Hanti has even more points than we thought. Gorbag, Landrevold, Glorfindel hasn't fought yet. Bard won. Elladan won. Balin won. Círdan won. Dain hasn't fought yet. Dadgum. Okay. Well, Hanti, good news and bad news there for you. You lost another guy, or a gal, but you're still scoring a ton of points.
If I was more like, I don't know, if I was doing more math, I might, losing that one, if Gollum lost that might have been really bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It might have been what?
That could have been really bad for me if I did lose Gollum there. That might have put Hanti in unreachable territory, but I'm not quite sure yet, because I haven't done that, so.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's going to take 220.
I kind of don't want to.
It's going to take 220 points to win. Nobody's close.
Sure. Okay.
Very interesting.
Just first round points for now.
Yeah, exactly. And we're off and running, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, drop us a comment. We love the feedback. Tell us how we're doing. Interesting thoughts. We'll flash them on the screen if they're appropriate, and we will definitely flash them on the screen if they're inappropriate. So let's go.
I was reading something, or I listened to something. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. I was reading some lore the other day, and I read something. I don't know if it's entirely true, but it said that Theoden is apparently the only bearded elf in the lore. If that is true, we have to throw a beard on him.
Yeah, we were thinking about that during the art design phase, and I kind of made the executive decision that just genetically, how the heck does that even work? That was weird to me on several levels. It reminds me a little bit of Elrond in the original Hobbit cartoon, and
yeah.
he was like a beardy elf man, and I have heard that beard thing about Círdan too. And so I put, I don't know, my own creative slant on it and went the other way on that one.
No, sure. That's one of the coolest logos. It's just something that randomly came up. And I was
Yeah.
like, I have to bring that
Weird,
up
right?
Stream. Yeah.
Yeah, Círdan, yeah, so he's lower left of your screen there, in our background, I guess.
Yeah.
Queer Dan the shit wipe. Can't forget about it now. So yeah, second fight of the night. Who we got? Who we got coming up? Oh yes, fight of the night, perhaps.
Yay!
Olog-Hai against Radagast. Is that the order?
Yes. Initial thoughts on this one, fellas, while I bring it up in the old battle engine.
Will be very fun. I have Radagast, so yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I'm kind of thinking like you should be able to control beasts and stuff like that. So, but obviously,
Yeah, he controls animals, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I don't know. The other wizards are so powerful. It makes me think. He should be better than maybe he is.
Indeed. Yeah, so 2 new characters here. Seeding Radagast was interesting, and it's worth a couple words. So, yeah, exactly as Engine Chief said, he's the only Maya. Keep in mind, all the Istari wizards, and especially the ones on the White Council, they're heavy hitters. They're Maya at the end of the day. But keep in mind, and this, we discussed this in the first tournament back in March. It remains true, though, that in Tolkien, the Maya, somewhat annoyingly actually, really don't use their power as much as they should, whereas oftentimes the evil characters are maxed out. They absorb power from other characters, making it a little bit of a power imbalance, at least as far as divine races go. I think you can certainly make the argument that being a divine race, such as the Maiar, isn't really the advantage you think it is. And so what we decided to do in terms of the battle stats that drive all the simulations that you're seeing is go from, the events on the page, right? And the most action that Radagast saw kind of on the page, or really not even on the page, in the background that was later described on the page, was the ousting of the necromancer from Dol Guldur. So we know he helped Gandalf and Saruman and Galadriel and Elrond oust Sauron from Dol Guldur. We don't really have any other details other than he's very friendly with the Eagles. He doesn't like the goblins. And he met up with Gandalf and gossiped about Saruman and said, "Hey, I'm with you, Gandalf. Saruman has clearly turned. And by the way, I got pressing business back in Mirkwood, so I'll see you later." So those are our data points. That said, let's check out his stats, and I'll show you guys kind of where we're at on that. So, Radagast. Decent agility, very good elusiveness, mediocre ferocity, decent valor, decent striking, although, again, not like Gandalf. Gandalf has glamdring. Still okay striking, right? Terrible armor. What else? I mean, his deflection and his magic and his stamina, all very good. Very Istari-like. He's... Oh, Spirit, 96. I mean, he's almost maxed out on Spirit. So this is a heavy hitter. Look, you could argue that this guy is a 4 seed for sure. Is he on par with the 3 seeds in the tournament? That's when you'd see, I think, more of a gap. The tiebreaker for whether you got that first round bye or not came with the old characters that we've seen perform in the first tournament versus the new. So it's a slight disadvantage to be a newbie in a tiebreaker type scenario when you're trying to decide between 4s and 5s. So we gave the edge to the guys that we'd seen in combat before. We know they can handle themselves a little bit with those 4 seeds. So that's kind of where we're at. It's certainly arguable, though.
I think this matchup is ideal for Radagast because Radagast is fairly good at ranged offense, and he's fairly good at melee defense because he's so elusive. And so, you know, Olog-Hai's pouring right into both of those. So, a different matchup Radagast could lose, but I feel good about him right here.
I think that's really well argued. Let's see. So, both of them... No, the Olog-Hai is going to want to use his heavy blade. Radagast, is going to prefer Yavanna's Gale, his spells. So, and they're only going to be forced to use 9% their unfavorable one. What is the Olog-Hai best at here? Ferocious. I mean, max out on ferocity. And let's remind the folks what that means. Ferocity is your ability to strike successfully, and it's also 1/3 of your damage when you wound at the very last phase of the battle, right? So it's your striking here in the middle of the flow, and it's 1/3 of this very end section in terms of how much damage you do. So, yeah, the Olog-Hai is stacked on ferocity. He's stacked on striking. That's a fell combination, actually. But you look here at, as Engine Chief mentioned, Radagast's elusiveness is 91. What does elusiveness do? Elusiveness on defense, your blue categories here, are your ability to dodge an attack, right? Avoiding engagement completely. Like, the character can't even engage you. And so watch the battle on the top of your screen. The colorful sort of bars go across when it indicates whoever's turn it is that's attacking. When you never see any color, it just stays gray. That means the attacker can't even engage. That's your first step of the melee flow's engagement. If you can't engage, you can't strike. If you can't strike, you can't wound. If you can't wound, you can't do any damage, and you're shit out of luck. So, it really is an advantage to have great elusiveness. If the enemy can't engage you, you're sitting pretty. It doesn't matter that your armor sucks, right? Which Radagast's armor sucks. So, something to watch there.
It sound like it's 100%. It's not 100%. It's a low likelihood. I mean, he's very dodgy.
Yes, yeah. Anything. Look, it's dice rolls at the end of the day. It's an algorithm. Anything's possible. It's just much less likely when you're this elusive. Anything else before we kick this one off? This could be the fight of the night. Go Radagast. Chucky has skin in the game. Let us fight.
Okay.
With the second fight of the night, perhaps the fight of the night, featured is Radagast against the Olog-Hai. Let us fight. Radagast attacks first, wounds, slight smite right off the bat. Can the monstrous troll come back and even the fight? He cannot even engage. Radagast hits again, wounds, slight smite, and he is dominating the weak troll. Can the troll even engage? We knew this was going to be a problem. Can he do any damage? What's that, guys?
What'd you say, Chucky?
He said it's just an Olog-Hai, a mere troll. Let us see. Can't engage. I'm sensing a theme already.
That may be the story of his death right there.
Yavanna's Gale does no damage that time. Can the Olog-Hai even engage, let alone wound? He can engage, but he can't hit. With a chain thrash, he tried to use his ranged weapon there. Unsuccessful. Radagast hits! Wounds! Is it enough? Slay!
Wow.
Merciless victory by the wizard.
I thought Radagast would win, but I didn't know he'd not have a scratch on him. He didn't break a sweat.
It was effortless. Yeah, Radagast is in here saying, "Hell yes, I'm misseated. What are you guys thinking? I'm one of the Astati. All that crap that the Maestro was talking about is completely false. I should be a 3 seed, damn it."
That's why I drafted him.
This is okay. Yeah, back-to-back wins. Impressive.
Yes, indeed. Let us give Chucky more points, shall we?
Okay.
Chucky gets points for Radagast. Only 10.
I want to go 100% in the first round. Which team should win? Dain should win. And then I have Dain.
Sorry, I barely heard you on that one. You were breaking up a little, Chucky.
Yeah, you're very gargly. You're very gargly. I'm having trouble.
Okay, I'm going to change the devices. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, while he does that, it looks like Pattyman lost the Olog-Hai. Pattyman, another one of our panelists, couldn't join us tonight. But yeah, he's got maybe the best roster as we were talking about last night. Although,
yeah, anyone would trade for his roster.
I don't know though. I mean, he's still got. Wait, is it Meri staying too? Yes.
Anybody would have gone for his roster pre-tournament, but
got it. Yes.
Yeah, his characters haven't done well yet.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's still got 3 total studs: Saruman, Aragorn, Gwaihir, but he's down to those 3. Yikes. Okay. So that our fantasy league is already really fun. I can't wait to roll this product out more widely. And Josh just sitting quietly in the woodworks.
Yeah, with only a couple superheroes that have got to do all his heavy lifting. They might.
Yes, we'll find out. Like Gimli is a 4 seed, of course. Legolas, I think a 3. No, both these are 4s. Then he's got a 2 and a 1, and maybe the best 1 seed of the whole tournament in Sauron. So that'll be interesting. Who fights next? Why it is the dwarf of the Iron Hills against the King of Rohan. First the renegade of Rohan, then the captain of Rohan, and ultimately the king of Rohan. Eomer, of course, one of my personal favorites in the whole story. Love this guy. I don't know. He's you got to remember he's not on his horse on this battlefield, which dismounted sort of makes the riders of Rohan human again, right? They're superheroes if they're fighting as a group on horseback, as Aragorn says. He tells us they're the finest fighters in Middle Earth. But he's talking about, a cavalry unit fighting together. And unfortunately, characters like Eowyn, Eomer, and Theoden are all dismounted in this game. So can't really make him higher than an 8 seed, unfortunately. But, that said, He's no slouch, and we'll show you why in a second. Thoughts on Thoughts on this matchup from the panel while I queue up the battle.
Check.
Hear you much better.
Cool.
Much better, Chucky. I have Eomer on my fantasy team, and it's ugly on ugly violence, but I want him.
Yeah. Well, surely they're both going to have to get in to hand-to-hand combat, and I assume Dain's Ironfoots. Wow. Anyways, I assume his armor is a lot stronger. So, however, Eomer does have a shield, I believe. So I don't know how that factors in.
Let's look at the stats and see.
Ooh, very close.
Green line is Eomer.
Boy,
Blue line
very
is
close. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes. So the armor, huge advantages.
So
Chucky just
Eomer's-
called.
Oh man. Oh yeah, Dain's got some stuff happening.
Really on the defensive side, right? I mean, armor and deflection. He's got badass armor. Deflection is the category. You know, it's ranged armor, so defense against ranged attacks, which Eomer doesn't plan to use here. He's gonna wield Guthwine. Dain's gonna wield the red axe of Erebor. This is gonna be a melee battle to the bone. That being said, the stats that count in melee, ferocity, pretty even.
But striking and armor count, and Dain is absolutely ahead in both of those.
Ooh, yeah, so striking. Yeah, this is a tough one here. The red axe of Erebor, and just dwarven strength. Given that Eomer isn't on horseback, advantage to Dain there. That's tough.
Yeah, he has a slight elusiveness advantage, but not as nearly as much as he would have had if he had his horse.
Yeah, no kidding. Still, more elusive, more 7 points more dexterous. Neither one's magic is worth a damn, although Dane's much better. Just by virtue of having some enchanted armaments, really is why that number is the way it is. Whereas Men of Rohan, just don't have any of that. Stamina, even. Toughness, dwarven toughness, tough to match, right? And spirit's equal. Yeah. Ooh, sorry, Engine Chief. It's looking like Dain might have an advantage in this one.
Yeah.
Although, look,
this does not look good.
the what am I trying to say? The battle engine. Sorry, the battle engine actually says it's very even odds in this one, in this melee on melee matchup. I'm not sure what it's seeing there.
I'm not sure what it's seeing there.
I mean, piercing and dexterity advantages to Eomer. Valor, slight elusiveness.
Yeah. Elusiveness is his only hope is yeah. All right, I think we've looked at these stats enough. Let's go ahead and kill Eomer here.
No hope.
No.
Remember, Engine
hope.
Chief, you are never out of the fight. But let us fight. In the third fight of the night, we have Eomer of Rohan going up against Dain Ironfoot of the Iron Hills. Let us fight! First attack to Dain, hitting wounds, slight smite. A great blow right off the bat.
It is as we
Eomer.
feared.
Counter.
It is as we feared.
Oh no, he
Come on,
can't even
Eomer, duck and
engage.
duck and duck.
And here comes Dain. Can't engage.
Okay, he
Eomer
ducked that
comes back.
time. There we go.
Can't engage. Dain comes back. A hit! A wound! Slight smite.
Yikes.
Through 5 rounds, he is hewing
Yikes.
down the man of Rohan. Come on, Eomer. Show us at least a wound. Whiff!
Oh
Another
no.
blow by Dain! Only slight damage. Hope remains. Not if he
He's
can't
showing
even
us-
engage.
Showing us nothing so far.
He comes back, and they're dancing a little bit. Back and forth they go through 10, 12 rounds. Back and forth they go. An engagement, but no damage for the man of Rohan. What can the dwarf do? Can't engage. Can't engage. An engagement! A hit! A blow!
Oh,
Another
no.
slight smite!
Now you
With a
are
hatchet
doomed.
toss. Even with range damage, he's doing well. And now Eomer really on the ropes here. Can he do anything? Can he achieve perhaps a death stroke? A hit! No damage. Tink off the dwarven armor. Dain comes back, engages, no damage. Eomer hits, wounds! very little damage on the dwarfen armor.
A mosquito.
Just a mosquito bite. Dain comes back. Engages, no damage. Eomer hanging on, but not for long. Engagement, but no damage. Eomer. He hits! No damage. Can't get through the armor. Back and forth they go through 26 rounds. An engagement, but no hits for the dwarf. The man attacks. Can't engage. The dwarf attacks. No damage. Eomer. No damage. Dain, a hit, a wound! A little more off. A little paper cut there, but still whittling him down.
Dain heard about what he said to Gimli in the fields of Rohan.
I would cut off your head, dwarf, if it stood a little higher from the ground.
Yeah.
And now you shall die! That's how that sounded. Oh, Eomer with a slight wound.
That armor.
Not
mithril
enough.
coat.
That's amazing.
Can't do anything with the armor. Another hit, no damage. Take off the armor. Can Dain finish it? A hit, but no damage. Eomer hanging in, doing his best. Back and forth they go through 40 rounds. An engagement by Eomer, no damage. An engagement by Dain, no damage.
Man,
Back
what's
and
our
forth.
longest battle that we've had?
Back and forth, he's hanging in. Men of Rohan do not lay down and give up. You should know better than this. You're gonna have to cut out his heart. He's not gonna give up. A hit! No damage. Dain comes back and engages. No hits. Back and forth they go. A hit! A wound!
Yeah.
Slay!
Heart has been eaten out.
Yes. Man, Eomer, tough fight by him, but not enough in the end.
Yeah, only 3, not even 3 points of damage.
Whew.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Sorry, Engine Chief. May he rest nobly with his friends in the halls of the slain. Rohan Valhalla, is that a thing? All right, so how do we stand fantasy-wise after that one? Let's take a quick look. Who has Dain? Oh, I might have known. Hanti.
Probably Hanti, yeah.
Anti-Slago.
And that's not an upset, so we'll give him 10. And then Engine Chief, Eomer is slain.
I'm going to make it all back with Grishnakh.
Yes, hoffentlich. Oh, so yeah, that's the next fight. So, Grishnakh.
Well, I was hoping never to have to fight against any of Chucky's characters, because at the end of at the bidding and the fantasy thing, we were both trying to team up against those who had infinite funds, and
Yeah.
Collusion.
really couldn't quite do
I like
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yes,
here we
There
are.
was collusion.
Yes. I mean, this is a good one too, I gotta say. Initial thoughts while I pull this one up in the battle engine, guys.
Like, almost from...
Well, I think
almost a
Rohan
lore
guys without
fight.
their horses are worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had Eomer who killed Grishnakh, right? I believe.
Indeed. Yeah. So in the actual books, he did.
Right. In that nighttime raid.
Mm-hmm. Outside Fangor.
Right. Oof. But the orcs, especially in this, are so ferocious. So I think what Engine Chief said is true. Without his horse, I think Theoden might be doomed here.
Interesting.
Theoden
Yeah,
didn't
that'll
lift
look
enough.
Yeah. Grishnakh might skip leg day, but
And
he
he's old.
definitely doesn't skip arm day.
Yeah.
Rawr. All right, so yeah, that typical orcish ferocity. Although with Grishnakh, honestly, 82 isn't as, it's not like the Uruks, for example. This Grishnakh not being an Uruk-Hai, or I mean, he was sort of a orc ranger. I picture him as that ranging party that was sent out from Lugburts, which is a clever name from Barad-dûr. And then, tussled with all of Saruman's Uruk-hai on the other side of the Anduin there. Nothing jumps out about a character like Grishnakh, but he's also not really bad at anything, Well, he's bad at magic. No power.
Yeah, but so is this.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, spirit and magic, not either of these characters' forte. So Theoden's the blue line. Grishnakh the green line. Pretty even.
Wow, it's more even than I had pictured.
Theoden has a quality blade, an heirloom of his house, Herugrim. And I was reading, actually, just randomly, these algorithms start to know you a little bit. And they throw me stories like, did you know Theoden wasn't actually a full man of Rohan, which makes some of his conversations with Aragorn a little bit interesting, because as they said in the movies, Aragorn is actually older than Theoden, which is wild to think about. But also, Theoden has some Gondorian, and by extension, a little bit of elvish blood via a house from Dol Amroth, a Gondorian house, but a Dol Amroth house. Going back about, 4 or 5 generations in Theoden's family tree, they already weren't pure Northmen or whatever. By then, they were already intermingled just a little bit with Gondor. And as we'll probably see in this upcoming Peter Jackson movie about the tracking of Gollum, Aragorn and Theoden both fought with Gondor in some wars against the, I want to say Southrons, but it could be Easterlings. Fact check me on that one, someone that's watching.
Evil men.
Evil men in one capacity or the other. That's right. So, so some cool background there that I definitely never knew about Theoden. I just picture him as like Rohan to the bone, right? Just want to make my ancestors proud before I die. And I also want to redeem myself for being hoodwinked by that bastard wizard, right? He possessed me and he put me under his spell, and that did not sit well with Theoden. And you think it shows in the movies, but man, do a reread of the books, and he was out for blood in a big way, which is really cool. So Theoden, another very cool character. Who you guys pick? Well, I don't need to ask you guys who you're picking in this one. You guys are both picking the guy you own.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Yep. Overall talent's fairly even here. They're going to use their backup weapons a little more than usual, about 30% of the time.
Yeah, it looks bad for Grishnakh here.
Orcish Scimitar against Herugrim. But they are going to have to use their backup weapons, which I think is a spear throw in Theoden's case against poison darts in Grishnach's case. But what kind of damage do they do? Real fast here. You're looking at accuracy of 51 versus 48. That's how likely they are to hit from range. And then piercing of just dead even, 58 versus 59. That determines the damage they'll do from range. So, shall we fight?
Let's go.
Let us fight. In the final fight of the night, and not only the final fight of the night, but the final fight of the play-in round, we have Grishnakh against Theoden. Let us fight! First attack to Grishnakh with the Orcish Scimitar fails to hit. Theoden also fails to engage with Herugrim. Back and forth they go. Cannot engage, cannot hit. Through 5 rounds, no damage. Theoden attacks, misses. Grishnakh engages but can't hit. Theoden engages but can't hit. The first hit to Grishnakh, and it's a slight smite for 36 damage. Advantage to the orc through 10 rounds. Theoden can't hit. Grishnakh can't hit. Theoden attacks, can't engage. Grishnakh hits, but no damage. Theoden hits, no damage. Back and forth they go. A hit and a wound! Only very slight damage with a spear throw by the King of Rohan. Can Grishnakh come back in the 17th round and do more damage? He cannot. Theoden with the initiative. Hits, but no damage. Grishnakh engages, can't hit. Theoden with a wound. Very, very slight damage. That's 2 spear throws now, where he's drawn a little bit of blood here. Okay, Grishnakh.
Ace
not
Ventura.
hit with the Orcish Scimitar. Say again, Chucky?
Ace Ventura, the 2 spears in the legs.
2 spears in the legs. Theoden can't hit. Grishnakh, another wound. Only slight. Only slight. Okay, Theoden comes back. Can't do anything. Come on, Theoden. Can you get at least a little damage? A miss and a miss. An engagement, but no damage. Again, they're dancing. Back and forth. Dancing. Dancing. Through 33 rounds. Advantage to Grishnakh. A hit and a wound by Grishnakh. Again, only very slight damage with the poison dart.
These Rohirrim don't go down easily, but
No.
they never win either.
Yeah, that very... Exactly.
Yeah, we're going to
And that
lose
goes
the
back to the
entire
first
family.
tournament.
We lost Eowyn, we lost Eomer, and doesn't look good for Theoden.
What are you without your horsey?
Yeah.
Exactly. Remind me after the fight, and I'll add a couple words on that. Okay. Oh, a wound by Theoden to even the fight! A gaping slash by Herugrim. And guess what? We are even in this one. Through 37 rounds. Grishnakh attacks, misses. Theoden attacks, hits! No damage. Grishnakh, nothing. Theoden, nothing. A hit, but no wounding by Grishnakh. Can Theoden even it? He hits!
Wow,
He
this is not what I
wounds!
thought would happen.
Slay! Theoden slays the orc.
It's rigged in my favor.
Wow. Great
Really
fight there.
is.
Fight of the night. Wow. Theoden vanquishes his foe.
That was crazy. A good comeback, too. We haven't seen many of those recently.
That's true. Yeah. And there you have it. So yeah, I was gonna say we were adding these 16 new characters to this field that that by new we just mean they weren't in the last field in March for the Ultimate Tolkien tournament, but they did make this field. And there's so many cool Rohirrim that were on the list and that didn't make it. And all I can say about that is I wanted them in. And they will be in the future, not to worry. Guys like Elfhelm, right? Guys like Hama. Guys like Theodred. Who am I forgetting? That other captain in the Pelennor charge.
Gamling.
Gamling. Yeah, Gamling, Hama, Elfhelm, Theodred.
Grimbold.
Yeah, Grimbold, thank you. Yeah, guys like that. Grimbold was almost as old as Theoden. I remember eliminating him from the field based on that. But man, Elfhelm, cool guy. Should have been in the field. We'll get him in. I just wanted to make that point because it does seem a little light on the Rohirrim. And that's fair.
Well, it's definitely light now. Oh, well, Theoden survived. So,
Yeah.
there's one standing.
The king. So Theoden gets 10 points. Was that an upset?
Yeah.
Back in the bracket.
I think it is.
Yes, 10 versus a 9. So that's an 11-point win for Theoden, bringing Chucky to 60. Oops. Yes.
Almost up to
63.
Haunty level. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Theoden. So Chucky is right on Haunty's heels. And unfortunately, Data's going to get another blacked out row here.
No.
For Grishnakh has been slain. But Dennis still with some raging heroes here: Treebeard, Galadriel, Bjorn, to go with his victors.
Yeah, 3
Athor,
upsets.
Thorin, and Frodo. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much you want to talk about the fantasy side of this whole thing versus, you know, I think you want to talk about now who each of these guys who won tonight, Theoden, Dain, Radagast, Gollum, who do they face?
well, I do want to tease up the fantasy stuff a little bit, even though I know our watchers, our viewers can't play, because this is one of those things that we're really excited to roll out more widely. So drop it in the comments if
Well,
you guys have...
I sent you
What?
an email, and let me try to. I sent you an email just now with some. What I did was I put all tonight's things in, but you've already shown those scores. And what I did is made some estimates of what the superheroes like Sauron and those guys are going to do in the final rounds, and I put those in. Okay, now it totally skips the next round, which is going to be significant. But anyway. Just because, I mean, there's so many people whose characters like Josh. And in fact, right now, when I put in a bunch of guesses as to what the future people like Sauron are going to do, I project the winner of the entire tournament to be Josh, who's in last place right now.
It could easily be.
Now, he's not in last place. I mean, he went with the strategy of drafting some real killers, and those killers have had buys so far, so he's got no points on the board so far. But he has got some players, okay? And my projection says Campy second, who's in the ditto position.
Yeah.
All right?
Well,
And then Hunty, and then David, and then Patty Man, believe it or not, to finish fifth. And Engine Chief,
interesting.
sorrowfully.
This is what you're talking about
sixth.
here.
Hold on. I switched screens. Yeah. So Adam, I don't know if you can put your I can put your mouse on it, but we just finished game 16, so we're over there on the left-hand side. And you see you see Hunty in first because of Dain, and you see Chucky in how come his Chucky's things are below. So Theoden brings Chucky into second place, as you see there. Engine Chief is languishing in third, and that solid curve line is some sort of estimate of how many points it's going to take to win. Something like that. And so Engine Chief for the first time has fallen behind that trend at the rate he's going. That doesn't lead to victory. Okay.
Right.
And then so you see it flat in the middle. Because the next round, which is we have 16 really important clashes. I just assumed that there's not an upset to be had in any of those. And that gets you out to 32, which is obviously not going to happen. But anyway, if the next round were totally chalk, then I put all these other characters, how many points they're going to win out there to the right. So it's a statistical guess. It's a statistical guess. But I got tired of seeing these scores where people like Josh are in last place, and that's because his guys are really good. They didn't have to play in the play-in round.
Yeah, exactly. They're hanging out, ready to score future points.
They're the monsters.
Indeed. So, where are we bracket-wise? That's the last question to answer tonight as we finish up the play-in round. Quick recap. Gollum slays Eowyn and advances to play Durin's Bane. Radagast just absolutely annihilates the Olog-Hai and will advance to take on Legolas. Interesting fight there.
Yeah, that's going to be even.
Eomer fought to the last ounce of energy, but ultimately lost to Dain, and Dain will advance to take on Bjorn.
Another interesting one.
Yes,
Yeah,
dwarf
he's got a
versus
shot there.
man-bear.
He's got a shot
He does.
there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the way we saw that armor perform. And then Theoden in the fight, what ended up being the fight of the night, Theoden will advance to take on Elrond.
Oh, well, goodbye.
So that's a wrap on the play-in round.
Super cool. Yeah, I like what Engine Chief just showed us, because in some ways it seems like some people have pulled like far ahead, but obviously that's not the case. It's just so dependent on the balance, and like
Yeah.
we all have different like roster strategies and stuff like that. So very cool.
All right.
Yeah. So it's still
Right.
obviously
Right.
anyone's game. All right, Engine Chief, I know you got a jet.
And so
I
go
do
ahead.
as well.
yeah. I
Go
was
ahead,
just going
last
to say,
words.
I really got to run, but the score is 72 to 63, whatever it is, right now. Between in terms of fantasy, keep in mind that the final game of the whole tournament's worth 60 plus bonuses.
True.
Yep.
So
Well said.
so or as you look at the solid gray line there, the way it curves, there are more points to be won in the later rounds than in these rounds. So
Right.
so no one should despair.
Yeah.
Indeed. Are you saying that you are never out of the fight?
Never.
That's what I heard anyway. which is a great segue. All right. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. Thanks Engine Chief. Thanks Chucky, and to everyone watching. Thank you as well. Do all that stuff in red for us. Greatly appreciate that. Hit up also MiddleEarthMadness.com. We built a great, in our humble opinions, we built a great website for you guys. So check it out. Plenty of character stats on there. Little blurbs for all your characters, explanations about what we're doing here, some frequently asked questions, schedules, and maybe most importantly, all links to all the featured fights, the best fights, and links to all the streaming services and to our YouTube page where you can catch all the fights that you've missed. And with that, thanks everyone for watching. And until the next battle, remember, as Professor Tolkien says, you can only come to the morning through the shadows. And where there is life, there is always hope. You are never out of the fight.